Good morning, everyone. I hope we are all set for public speaking. Today, we're going to take a trial of it, right? I can see a few of you have yet not selected the topics. In case you have not, I was trying to give you a little time to select the topic. Uh, what we'll do is I'm giving you 5 minutes of time to look back at your public speech, and then we can start at 9:45. All right, 5 minutes to look back, and the order is already given to us. Right. So we'll work accordingly. I'm giving you 5 minutes to look back at. We'll start with enrollment number two, or the order of public speech number two, because the first person who's supposed to give it will be joining us a little late. Okay. So we're going to start with Mahek. So in that case, kindly start looking into things. I'm giving you 5 minutes to look at your speech, and then we can begin it. Okay, I think we are now ready to start, and we've already got the first person as well. At enrollment number 46 is going to start the public speech, right? You can start whenever you are ready.
Hello, I'm audible. Hello,
Yeah, there's little disturbance, I suppose.
hello. It's clear, ma'am.
No, it's not.
Hello, hello. Are you clear, ma'am?
Yes, Fez.
Are you
A
clear?
little clear. Yes, yes.
With the rising of the sun and the flickering of the bird. Good morning to one.
Just a minute. The voice is not coming clear now. Do one thing. You leave the meeting and join again. We'll wait for him to join.
Hello. Now it's clear, ma'am.
Now it's very clear. Now you may start.
With the rising of the sun and the chirping of the bird. Good morning to one and all present over. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Faiz. Today I will going to speak on some funny invention. So, from the audience, anyone have you remember any funny inventions? Anyone remember? I think no one has done breakfast. Okay. So let me start about funny invention that you mostly eat on your breakfast. That is potato chips. The inventor of potato chips was George Crumb, a chef at the Karen Moon Lake House in Stadzo Springs, New York. Crumb was trying to serve a customer French fries in the summer of 1853. Customer kept sending his French fries back, asking them to be thinner and crispier. Crumb lost his temper and started sliced the potatoes in thin and fried them until they were hard as a rock. The chef, surprised, the customer loved them the most. Yeah. Now, secondly, the invention of Coca-Cola. The inventor of Coca-Cola was John. He was pharmacist. What he was trying to make that living in the Atlant in the 1880s, Prembert sold a syrup named made up of wine and a coke. Exact he called Femstone French wine cola, which was outed at a cure for headache and nervous disorder. How it was created. In 1885, Atlant banned the sale of alcohol. So Pemberton created a purely coca-based version of the syrup to be mixed with carbonated water and drank as a soda. The result was a perfectly beverage for the temperature era, a brain tonic called Coca-Cola. Now, thirdly, the funny invention was non-stick pans. that made for Teflon. Chemist Roy Plunkett was trying to create a new form of CFCs. God knows why, but instead create some mysterious white flecks. These turned out to be the high melting point lubricant now consistently applied on all non-stick pans. Thirdly, safety glasses. Was a funny invention. The chemist was working in his lab when a glass flax dropped on the floor but didn't shatter into several pieces. This was because the inside happened to be lined with plastic cellulose nitrate. He patented it and it is now used in all cars, always gas masks and the likes. At last, I would conclude that there is a nice saying that great discoveries are made from accidentally, less often than the people likes to the things. Thank you.
Excellent. I really like the way you begin with wishing a different way of greeting the people and all. And this funny things that come over from the daily regular things that we are doing was very nice. Excellently done. Right? Nice. Was appreciating different aspects that you took from food to glasses to different things. Trying to bring in variety in the speech. That was very nice done. Great. Now the second person in order.
Good morning. I'm Mahek, and I would like to start my speech with one question. What if the dimension of time was no different from the three-dimensional space we live in? What if we could travel to the past and the future the same way we can move right and left, up and down? Would you be able to change the past? And if you did, would it create a time paradox? What kind of time machine would you need to build anyway? This is what And here is what would happen if you could travel to the times. How many times you have wished to could jump in the time machine and skip that boring lecture or gain better comeback result in the last week exams? Time travel sounds like wild fantasy that only happens in sci-fi movies, but we are actually traveling in time every day. Albert Einstein found that time is not a a constant, but it continuously moving forward, and we are moving forward with it. According to the Einstein, time is fourth dimension. Together with three-dimensional space, it's fused in a single four-dimensional continuum. It's the space-time. If you think of traveling in space, moving upward is a bit of a challenge unless we get an airplane or at least take a stairs. So maybe we just haven't come up with proper machine to travel in time yet. Theoretically, building a time machine uh, is possible, but it wouldn't like some exotic piece of art. Rather, what would we need is spaceship that could travel almost as a fast as speed of light. Einstein theory of Einstein's theory of relativity taught us that the faster we move through space, the slower we move in time. Let's assume we were in a spaceship traveling at 99% in speed of light to a potentially habited exoplanet some 40 light years away. We find some primitive life forms and speed back to Earth to share your discovery. But when you finally make it back to Earth, you discover that all colleagues you now is very old. You are, from your perspective, you have only been gone about 2 years, but from people on Earth, you have been gone for 80. This phenomenon is known as time dilation. It's not only like it's not likely to happen to you, though, because traveling at speed of light isn't quite possible. With the technology we have now, the fastest piloted vehicle we have ever created is Apollo 10, reached about 11,000 meters per second. The speed we needed to time travel is somewhere 299 million meters per second. On top of that, accelerating at speed would cause an enormous centrifugal force, a force that would rip you apart because you have anyway if you go anywhere near light speed. But hey, we still have wormholes. Einstein predicted that these theoretical tunnels link two separate places and the times a shortcut to another universe and another time. The problem with wormholes is they're extremely tiny and just billionth and trillionth part of the centimeter across. No human would be able to fit through. If any, if only we could capture the wormhole, we might be able to enlarge it image and giant tunnel above the Earth leading to another planet. And theoretically, if we put both ends of a wormhole in a same place but in a different times, we could step into a wormhole and come out of a distant past. But wormholes have their issues. They're very short-lived, and traveling into past would create paradoxes, like the one in which you go back in time and convince your grandmother never to get married, and then your grandmother doesn't give the birth to your dad, and it doesn't have you. But if you didn't exist, who went back in time and talked to your grandmother? After marrying your grandfather, time is linear. It is only goes forward. For that reason, we can only travel into future, not to the past. In fact, astronauts that spent about a year on the International Space Station in the space are living in the future compared to us. Even though it's just 13 milliseconds in the future, they prove that traveling of time is possible. And many and maybe wormholes could open up a whole different world where the laws of physics works in a different ways. The traveling to the past is possible. I would like to end my speech with one interesting question. Would you dare step into a time machine not knowing where it would take you? And if you had the choice, where would you go and when? Thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mahek. That was really nice. Explaining from the scientific parts to giving little examples that enriched your speech a lot, right? So, very well done. Can we have the third person now? I hope now I don't have to take people's name, right? You know who is where.
Yes,
Yeah.
good morning all. I am Vasu. My today's topic of public speaking is how computer changed people's life. Computer and its use grew rapidly and widely throughout the world. They are used to deal with many tasks due to their various potential. It helps to resolve problems, human life encounters and daily life. Therefore, they have more influence in our life. The impact of usage on our life obviously identifies as saving of money, time, and effort. To understand the deep of computer invention in human life, have a look at developments happen in the areas of communication, education, utility facilities, and healthcare. The subject computer and human life has become one of the most interesting subjects in schools and colleges. Thus, in many essays and group discussion, particularly in schools and colleges, students are often asked to write how have computers changed in our life or influence of computers in human life. Computer has been invited to every sphere of human life, such as mobile phone, TV shows, supermarkets, hospitals, railways, matrimonial, share trading, online purchasing, banking, sports, robotics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. Are the few of them perhaps difficult to list all. In them, first is computer and human life correlation with communications. Computer can bring people closer together and facilitate context between them using email, chatting, video conferencing, mobile phones, and social medias. It saves times, efforts, and money compared with the latter used before making influence of computer in human life. Computer connected with internet has ability to public ideas, thoughts, etc. Social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Blogger, YouTube, WhatsApp. And second one is influence of computer in education. No doubt, computer has made massive makeover in education field. In this corona pandemic, we are not able to go into school or colleges, but our education is possible with online classes through computers. In this modern world, our guru, as all we know, is Google search, being evolved as a human assistant adopting artificial intelligence. Libraries have gone digital as well, so the public have access larger amount of informative virtuality anywhere, connecting to the world of information right at our fingertips and anywhere. Uh, Third one is new era in education. MOOC. What is MOOC? MOOC is a acronym for Massive Open Online Course. The title itself declares that learner has to be online for MOOC's course. Example, connected through internet. Some of the popular MOOC provides include Coursera, edX, Udacity, and FutureLearn. Partnered with university, companies, and professors to provide MOOCs. And the fourth one is influence of computer in utility facilities. Computer also facilitate comfort to our life and provides convenience for transportation. It facilitates the way people travel. Airways, roadways, and waterways uses computer to control their operations. It saves time. GPS, Google Map capable to predict time required, traffic conditions, traffic blocks, giving advice and alert about the roads. And the fifth one is computer brings tremendous progress in healthcare sector. Computers provide potential for the effectiveness of medical care. And latest trend and never a near future expectation by computers is artificial intelligence, machine learning, internet-based education, and 3D printing. In last conclusion, to conclude, computers have changed our life beyond imagination and continue to play important role on human life and behaviors. It provides advices, facilities for our life, and also create effective learning, production control, and utilization. Thank you.
Thank you. That was really good information. Can we have the next person, please?
Hello, good morning to all of you. My name is Brinda Barishta, and today I am going to talk about the influence of modern gadgets on people. As we know, our day-to-day life starts and ends with a gadget, and it has almost become a part of our life. It has transformed from a luxury material to a mandatory one and invaded our lives completely. On other side, the impact of these gadgets, such as MP3 players, mobile phones, tablets, has distributed the communication ability of individuals using a gadget excessively. Although the arrival of mobile phones transformed the simple way of communication everywhere
Varun,
and anywhere, with others the negative. Yes, ma'am.
Vrunda, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there seems to be some sound problem because your voice is not coming that clear. A few points it's clear. After some time,
Okay,
it's distorting. Yeah, please check that.
okay. Now it's clear.
Yeah, now it's much better. Thank you.
Okay. I'm starting from starting or wherever I am.
If you can start from the beginning, it would be better.
Okay, ma'am. Hello, good morning to all of you. My name is Brinda Varichya, and today I'm going to talk about the influence of modern gadgets on people. Our day-to-day life, we start and ends with a gadget. It's almost become a part of our life. It transformed from a luxury material to a mandatory one and invaded our lives completely. On other side, the impact of these gadgets such as MP3 players, mobile phones, or tablets has distributed the communication ability of an individual using a gadget excessively. Although the arrival of mobile phones transformed the people's way of communication everywhere and anywhere, its other the negative influence has come to light only recently. Only recently, the number of people purchasing electronic gadgets that make their life simple has been increasing rapidly, and the dependency on the mobile phone on these gadgets has also been rising steadily. Positive and negative effects of gadgets on people's mind are you cannot blurring a vision from a screen of a laptop or smartphone. The overuse of a modern gadgets such as a wireless earbuds could cause and health-related issues such as headaches and earaches. Also, many of these modern gadgets have caused a sleep deprivation, especially at night, impairing normal state of health. The purpose of using gadgets are they are electronically simplified applications that make work easy. They play a significant role in common man life. We have grown so used to it that it becomes very difficult for us to think a daily life course in absence of machines. Electronic gadgets also affect the people's life. With the constant use of gadgets, one lost track of their surroundings. You have no interest in what's happening around you because you are introspective with technology. How many times we have observed that the people bump into their phones while they are out with their friends. Technology has altered a human physiology. It makes us differently, think differently, feel differently, even dream differently. It affects our memory, attention span, and sleep cycle. This is attributed to a scientific phenomenon known as a neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to alter a behavior based on new experience. With many benefits of the electronic gadgets, life will become a standstill. If electricity fails, humanity has to go back to the dark ages without an electricity, technology, and gadgets. The explosion of a digital technology in present day world has completely transformed the lifestyle of a people, the way of communication, the way of people see each other, thus altering the brains of a human. Furthermore, mental capabilities are less in this digital age. People enjoy living into digital platforms, doing the job of checking and required information, and it is positive to note that the technology and internet help in gaining a knowledge, but concern is about the people's tolerance on the digital one and their intention to stop remembering the basic information. Playing the football physically and playing it without the human mind makes people interpret and lose track of surroundings. At last, I would like to conclude that the technology helps people in simplify life and provide a better environment. There is no doubt that the things are made easy and entertaining with gadgets, but individually carry out multitasking with an application of electronics. However, the negative impact comes to light when are exposed to gadgets excessively. The constant use of device has made a man isolated from a reality. It has disturbed social relationships, social interaction, and interpersonal communication. People forgetting the power of a brain and losing their intellectual capacity. Summing up, the technology must not replace the human intellect and memory. Instead, it must be used only as supplement. Using the use of a gadget can help our upcoming generation comprehend the reality and come out of a virtual world. Thank you.
Thank you, Vrunda. Nicely spoken. Little technical issues were coming in between, but I decided it's not good to again interrupt you in between what's happening with technology, and you are talking also about technology, right? So, otherwise, it was very well done. Different examples from everyday life being shared was very nice, so that the audience can relate to it. You were trying to give examples where the audience can connect. That's absolutely well done. Right? Let's have the next person, please. If somebody is absent in between, you go and continue to the next one. Okay, the next person. You want me to tell the next person's name or something like that? Person should be genial if the person is present. No? Then let's see the next one. Enrollment number 8. Not there.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you select a topic? I cannot see anything.
No, ma'am, I was not prepared. I didn't know.
Please inform. Right. No problem.
Hey,
We'll
present.
do it. And is your book review done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we've got enrollment number 34. Ishan. Not there? Great. Then we have got enrollment number 10. Vishwaraj Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You may start when you are ready.
My name is Vishwaraj Chidasama. I'm going to talk about on global warming. Global warming is defined the single greatest environmental challenge that the planet Earth is facing at present. It's essential to understand the gravity of the situation. The fuel which is used in the order to power your homes, cars, business, and more is hitting up planet faster than expected. We are recording the hottest day and decades ever. What's alarming that temperature of the earth has climbed to highest point it has ever been in the past 12,000 years. It only gets worse from here if don't stop it now. Many impact of global warming as the planet is getting hotter. We need to collect the act right now instead of waiting for more. The primary cause of global warming is fossil fuels. Human beings attack the burning them which produce coal, oil, greenhouse gases, and more. The power plants, cars, and industries produce carbon dioxide which stay in the atmosphere of 5 decades or more. This is the reason why the temperature of the earth rise. Due to the rise temperature, the oceans are rising and polar reefs are dying. Many aquatic species are going to extincting while the glaciers are melting. You will surprised to know that Greenland is losing 20% more mass than it's received from new snowfall. Thus, it will shrinking as the earth warms. Moreover, extreme weather patterns for everyone to see heat waves, droughts, floods are now taking place with greater intensity and frequency. The Hurricanes are doubling up with nature in terms of population, and the audience is enough to prove it this point. Further, the Greenland and western ice sheets are at great risk of melting completely. Please note that these two ice sheets presently hold around 20% of Earth's fresh water. The rise in the sea level will damage the coastal area globally. Moreover, the regularity of oceans and other may become small, violating, spelling Maria and other deadly many ways to tackle of global warming. The time is now to do something to prevent global warming. Otherwise, it will be erratic. Electricity and transportation contribute largely to global warming, so we must be there. It is important to note that there is no silver bullet, and we must all come do, together to tackle global warming as a whole. Every home, business, industry impact is required to tackle this crisis. Moreover, the same design needs to apply other industrial producer of carbon dioxide. For instance, the, the transportation industry of cars, trucks, planes, and more produce 28% of the carbon dioxide emission. We must reduce the emission enhances the fuel efficiency of the vehicle. Also, it's the high time to get rid oil and gasoline-based fuels for greener alternatives. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Vishwarajji. That was quite an informative detail about the topic that you had selected. And then we have got enrollment number 31.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Good morning, friends. I am Vatsal. Today I am going to speak about education for technology. In the current age, we are living in technology. Technology has become an important component. Every day, there is some new gadget software that make use easier and importance of technology and software. Technology is playing an increased role in education as technology advances. It is used to benefit students of all ages in learning process. Technology used in classroom helps students absorb the materials. For example, since some people are visual learners, projection screen linked to computers can allow students to see their notes instead of simply listening to a teacher delivering a lecture. Software can be used to supplement class curriculum. The program provided students study question, activities, even tests and quizzes. Technology has also become a part of curriculum even outside of computer and technology classes. Students use computer to create presentation and use the internet to research topic of paper and lessons. Students also learn to use the technology available to them in the computer and tech classes. These ensure that after graduation they will be able to use the technology in work setting, which may put them ahead of some who couldn't access the particular technology or software at their own school setting. As the technology advances, students have better access to educational opportunities like this. When some of new and better relevant, the older technology become more affordable, allowing to be used in education settings even when schools are a tight budget. Technology has the advantages to help children even they start at school. Educational video games and systems for younger children help them prepare for school. In some cases, may get a head start their education. Thank you.
A very nice speech. And the next person is 12. Enrollment number 12, Vasu. Not there. No problem. Then we've got
Yes, ma'am.
enrollment number. You're there? Enrollment number 12.
Hello, ma'am.
Have you prepared the public speech?
No, मैम मैं अभी दिन में एब्सेंट था तो पता नहीं था.
Very good. Have you completed your book review?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No problem. Kindly select a topic. We'll have your public speech in the next session.
Okay,
Right?
ma'am.
Okay. Enrollment number 29, Aditya. Not there. Okay. Then we have got enrollment number 16, Hemang. Hemang is not there. No problem. Now we have got enrollment number 26, Briz.
Yes, ma'am.
The voice is little distorting. The audio is not that clear. If you wish to check it.
Okay. Let me do it.
Now it's clear.
Am I audible?
Yes, now it's audible.
Okay. Let me start. Good morning, everyone. It's been a nice sunny day out there. So before I start, I want to ask, is there someone who thinks that my past is following on me, like on my back? Is there someone who thinks that I want to do this thing, or I want to become a great person in future? Or is there anyone who just thinks about the present, like I am just living in my present? Uh, there are many persons, there are so many who differently thinks depends on each of them. So from this, I can tell that I am going to start a speech on topic learn from the past, live in the present, and prepare for the future. So let me start with the first one. Learn from the past. The the sentence suggests that whatever things are happened in the past, you need to learn from it. The things which are done, the things which are done beautifully, or it's maybe in a mistaken, or it's maybe unfortunate things that happen in your life. You need to learn from it. If you have a hand on it, like I have done a mistake in my past, I have done this, I have done that, which is a mistake, then you are never going to live in the present, which is going to affect your presence. The thing which is you are doing right now in the present will be affecting it. Uh, as it is going to affect your present, it's also going to affect your future, the future plans you are doing, the future things you want to do with your families or friends or relatives or anything, any such thing, it is going to affect it. So you need to let it go. You just need to learn the things, like I want to uh, do such a things in future. To think about it, I need to live in the present moment. Then to live in the present moment, you need to learn from the past. You need to let it go. Uh, then it comes to the present. Whatever you are doing, you need to live in the present. Like right now, I'm telling a speech on this topic. my mind is living in my present. I don't think of my past. I just learn from the past. Like if you are doing a presentation or just anything, focus on that which I am coding or the thing which I am doing for my self confidence level. That I need to focus on that. I don't need to get an interrupt by the past. That's just what I can say. We need to do uh, carry on the present. You need to be hands on and focus on a present. If a present comes between a present, then it can create a divergent to your present work, which can lead future. Now the prepare for future is like we need to have aims, we need to have goals for the futures. If you don't think of the future, you can mislead your future from the way you want to live to the way you don't want to live. If a student thinks that I want to become an engineer or I want to become a doctor or an astronaut or a scientist, he needs to think in that way. Uh, if a student wants to think an engineer, then he needs to think that I want to become I want to do such things like I want to take the science course from 11th, then I need to take the max course, then from the collegians age I want to do the things which going to be a better one in the future ones. He is thinking about the future things, that what are the things going to be happen in the future. He is thinking about it, then he's processing in his mind that what will be the things better one in the future. So he thinks of it, he processes it, and then he takes a charge on it, a goal on it. Just like I am, he take it a positive way by thinking on it. Mm, then the future, he has decided the future that I want to do this. He takes a way, he makes the roads for his goals. He does his he completed his task. Then the better results he gets is that he thinks whatever he has thinks in the present, not in the past, is happened completely. The things which he want to his future life is now completed. Uh, is the main goal of the topic, which is learn from the past. You have to learn it. Live in the present. You have to live in the present and think of the future. You have to prepare for the future. That's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Briz. This was really insightful of you talking about the topic. And the nice part was you begin with a question instead of just giving away what your topic was. That was very nice, a method that you used.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next person we have is enrollment number 17, Dhruv.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I'll try not to talk too long. It's best to leave your audience before your audience leaves you. A very good morning to everyone. Today I will be talking about... Yes? A very good morning to everyone. Today I will be talking about a very popular proverb where laughter is considered as one of the best medicines. I guess everyone has heard of this proverb or has come across people advising them to others to smile and laugh more. Apparently, the natural act of smiling and laughing has health benefits as well, but we will come to those later. Laughter is absolutely magnetic, as it not only makes the person laughing more charming, but can lighten up the mood of the room. And the excitement brought by the joy of making others happy is a motivation for laughing yourself. Indeed, laughter is beneficial because it brings people closer and triggers positive emotional and physical changes in the body. To heal their own or someone else's sorrow, people have to make the initiative and laugh. When people laugh, all distressing thoughts are banished from their minds, and it makes them relaxed and energized. Laughter is a crucial factor in strengthening relationships. We had often come across a time in our life when we ended up judging, criticizing, or resenting our partners. But an act of your partner resulting in you end up with a burst of laughter helps in letting go of all those defenses and doubts. Laughter also helps us become more spontaneous, and it is when we reveal the most candid version of ourselves and express our genuine emotions. Now, coming to the ways laughter affects our health. A good hearty amount of laughter has the power to relax our muscles for more than 30 minutes after. Let go of all that stress and physical tension by bringing the zest of humor into our life. The immune cells count and the count of antibodies increases by laughing, and these help us become more resilient to disease. The flow of blood increases with the increases of oxygen-rich air intake on laughing, and therefore laughing is an excellent exercise to protect the human heart from cardiovascular problems. Okay, this might come to you as a surprise, but laughing helps in the burning of calories. It is true. Google it if you want. It is a fact that approximately 40 calories are burnt in a day on 10 to 15 minutes of laughing. But sadly, it is no replacement for exercise. A balanced amount of everything is required in life to stay healthy. And since we are talking about balance, laughter helps to maintain the balance of human emotions. Doesn't it feel weird that the laughter we often practiced in our childhood in the road of growing up become much infrequent? Let's find our way back to becoming humorous and light-hearted, just like kids who enjoy their life better. Be the good kind of contagious by laughing out loud, and remember to look around in search of the faces that lit up because of you. Thank you for being a great audience and keep smiling.
Thank you, Dhruv, for throwing light on how laughing can burn your calories but cannot replace exercises. That was nice and quite nicely involved. And in the beginning only you said you will not take much time, so the audience is mentally prepared that he's going to speak less. Let's listen carefully. And that was a very good technique that you used over here. Now I think there was some technical issue and Hemang missed his turn, so we'll have Hemang first. Okay, so Hemang, when you are ready, you may start your speech.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Hemang, you are audible.
Good morning, everyone. Today's my topic is importance of newspaper. You have woken up in the morning and are still drowsy. It is difficult to keep your eyes open. Suddenly, mother breezes with a cup of tea in her hand. Behind her is ever loyal family domestic help holding the morning edition of your favorite newspaper. You open a folder of newspaper and dig into the headlines. You leave behind your private self and become a citizen of the world, curious about what's going on, involved with what happens, where, and needless to say, before you know it, you are wide wake up. Despite the television, the internet, this is still the ideal way to millions of the people around the global would love to begin their day. Is about newspaper draws most educated people to like a magnet. A cultural intelligent
Just a minute.
mind is
Yes, Hemang, just a minute. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I should not be, but the sound is not, or you are not audible that much. There's so much of distortion coming. In the initial speech part, you were audible, but now it's not audible at all. Would you like to, leave the meeting and rejoin?
okay, ma'am.
Yeah, do that, please. We will wait for Hemang. It's his turn only, right? We'll wait for him to rejoin us. By the time Hemang joins us, there's a few things of instruction which I need to tell you. Is one, if you look into your official WhatsApp group, I've shared two Google Form links where you need to, in the first one, you need to upload the certificates for the certificates that you have received for completing the Coursera course. There would be 3 certificates, right? It was a specialization course you might have completed. I have been repeating every now and then that 30th September is the last day to do it. And also I've created a form because there had been some issues in the Google folder. So let's not talk about the issues. We found a solution to it. And 2, I have been repeatedly asking you to submit your resume. So the second link is for submitting your cover letter and resume. It is also a part of an assignment of 10 marks. Right? I hope you remember that. Now, if Hemang has joined us, he may start his speech.
importance of in the morning and are still drowsy. It is to keep your eyes open. Suddenly, your mother breaks in with a cup of tea in her hand. Behind her is the ever loyal family domestic help holding the morning edition of your favorite newspaper. You open a fold of newspaper and dig into the headline. You leave behind your private self and become a citizen of the world, curious about its going on in world. With happier and needless to say, before you know it, you are wide wake up. Despite the television and the internet, this is still a million of people around to begin a day. Is the about paper that draws most to wake up a culture agent mind is influenced by nature and good newspaper abilities and feeds their trade constantly taking Google is agents in him. Once the habit catches on, it may well turn into an addiction.
Hemang, I am really sorry for
Vigilance
Hemang.
is there.
Hemang, I'm really sorry I'm interrupting you again, but it's not audible. The problem is what happens is your voice is echoing, it's breaking at times. I know it's a technical issue. Do not worry about it. I know it's a technical issue, but taking a speech in this manner would not do any good to you or me. Right. So I don't know how do we work it out. If you wish to try again by the time we have somebody else to make the speech, would it be fine? I think Hemang, you are replying something to me, but I cannot listen. It's not audible. If you can type a message or something. Okay, by the time Hemang resolves his issues, can we have the next person so that we finish with people? Enrollment number 25, Vidhi. If
Yes, ma'am.
the person is, yeah.
So, a very refreshing morning to each one of you. I am Vidhi, and today I am going to talk about the topic Internet is a double-edged sword. So, here I start. The Internet is a global system which is interconnected and used by billions worldwide. It connects a broad array of networks and serves billions of private, public, academic, business, and government networks. It gives a prospect for others to intermingle with fellows, to discuss any topic of interest, to explore the world sitting at their home. There are people out there, young and old, and in between, who tap, touch, and swipe their mobile phones thousands of times a day. Many of these people spend hours engaged in other screen based activities, plonked at a desktop in front of a computer, doing schoolwork on a tablet, watching movies on a laptop, etc. It should therefore be no surprise that Internet use over the last 25 years has increased tremendously, especially in young minds. This monumental shift towards continuous connectivity began when smartphones gave users instant access to Internet about a dozen years ago. Almost all of us have smartphones now, so we literally have technology in our pockets 24 hours a day, says researcher and author Joseph Charoki. India stood second in ranking of internet users just behind China in 2019. The number increased from 302.36 million in 2015 to 636.73 million users of internet in 2019. Researchers have been warning about the risk of compulsive internet use for years, with some even claiming it's as harmful as alcohol and drugs to millennials. It's important to consider those risks, but spending some time online is not necessarily a negative thing. The internet is a brilliant creation, beneficial to almost every person if used correctly. It can be used to stay in contact with friends, to research ideas, to educate your own self. For entertainment, it dissolves geographical boundaries. It increases speed in daily tasks. The internet is cost effective and has made possible to research in one's own specific language. However, the internet has also a dark side because many things online are designed to be addictive. Games are designed to keep you playing. Social media is designed to keep you scrolling. And sites are designed to grab your attention and keep you engaged for as long as possible. The prevalence of internet addiction varies from 1.5% to 25% in different populations. A study reported a prevalence of 0.7% among Indian adolescents. Young individuals were more susceptible to develop into internet addict than an older person. And so, the internet is a double-edged sword because while some people are using it to learn and develop skills and build supportive social networks, there are others who are getting trapped by it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. I can see that confidence in your voice. It is ringing now. That's nice. Excellent. The next person we have is enrollment number 19, Vishwa.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. As of now. In between, if we have some problem,
Okay.
I'll be telling you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, so greetings all of you. My topic is technology limiting our creativity? So basically, let's understand what is creativity. Creativity is a difficult word to define. In my perspective, it has a diversity of meanings, but in its essence, creativity refers to the act of creating something original, innovative, or unique through use of imagination. Creativity is often viewed as being the opposite of functions or disciplines that require logic or are governed by facts. This isn't necessarily true, of course. However, it is widely believed that artistic fields require creativity, while scientific fields do not. People often think that creativity is a messy, unpredictable, man-made phenomenon, whereas science, mathematics, and machinery are bound by a concrete set of rules. This has led to people sharing in the fear that society's increased dependence on technology is limiting our creativity. When presented with the question, is technology really limiting our creativity? Many people agree that yes, it is. If we can find everything online somewhere, we don't give ourselves room to problem solving and innovate our own. While it's undoubtedly true that a majority of people use smartphones and the internet to fill the ideal time in their lives. The other side to the argument, however, is that technology is simply redefining creativity. The fear is, of course, that children have substituted conventional creative hobbies such as painting, building, and experimenting for passive screen activities such as gaming. Yet, despite the fact that modern children do have higher rates of media consumption than any previous generation, it's not always that their screen activities lack creativity. Many children use the internet to write blogs, build websites, or dabble in coding. Technology needs to be thought as a new medium built to improve and enhance creativity, creative designs, and expressions, and not as just information supply machine. So let's talk on technology, which is redefining creativity. That's a great quote by George, where he talks about that he likes to push people's button. He likes to find out where they draw the line, deliberately step across it, take them with him, and make them glad they came. But the internet and social media don't give you the opportunity to learn where people draw the line and to learn how to take care of them when they are stepping across the line. Pushing boundaries goes hand in hand with creativity. Yet, creative people still have a responsibility to their audience. One of the drawbacks to young people expressing and exploring their creative identities in online environment is that they are less regulated than real world ones. It is clear that in order to truly thrive online, young people still require rich and diverse interaction with the real world. To summarize it, I would say it is fair to argue that technology can limit creativity in young people, but it's not necessarily fair to say that technology does limit creativity in young people. We need to give children credit for the fact that they often simply using the tools that are at their disposal. Yet creativity may look vastly different from now how it looked during the internet free childhoods. But we need to remember that we are preparing our children for our own digital future. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwa. That was really nice. Confidence throughout the speech, same amount of energy from the beginning till the end. That keeps the audience coming back to you. That's really nice that we could see. So, anybody who's just left out and wants to make a speech, I had a message that can we talk on our own topics. Yes, Manthan, you may.
Good morning, guys. Today topic is positive attitude. What if there was a way you could easily expand your mind and see gather possibility in life? What if you could develop better skill naturally? When people think of having a positive attitude, they probably thinking it's little more than plastering a smile on their face and trying to think happy thoughts, but it's more than that. A positive attitude is something that goes deeper and has an effect beyond surface cheer. Negative attitude promote fear and narrowing of focus and the mind, while positive attitude do the opposite. No one should live in a constant state of fight or flight, but negative attitude create exactly that scenario. Study have also shown that having a true positive attitude make your view of life seem broad, full of possibility. That view lead to actually living your life in a way that make it natural to be exposed to and acquire new skill. Here are some ways to maintain a positive attitude in the workplace, regardless of whether it comes naturally or not. There are there are some there are some point of positive attitude. Surround yourself with positive people. Fill your mind with positive input. Control your language. Create a routine for the day. Be nice to other people. Don't rely on an outside source of positivity. Create high point in each dark and week day and week. Assume responsibility and choose your response. Decide your reaction to no problem ahead of time. Breathe deeply. Make a mission statement. Have personal goals. Remember that no one owns your anything. Stop complaining. Embrace laughing. Be curious and embrace learning. Look to long term instead of short term. Fake it until you make it, etc. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Manthan. That was quite talk that we had. A little more confidence instead of being just mechanical when you're speaking. Little emotions is what you can work on if you're preparing from other thing. Anybody else who would have prepared in this small time while your friends were giving the speech and one wants to give a speech? Okay, then I assume that nobody wants to give a speech, but there are few people whose book review is remaining. As I look at the list which I have with me, there are few people whose book review is remaining. Do you wish? I wish we could do it today itself so that we can complete things. And I hope you are now ready with it. If you wish, I'll tell the enrollment numbers whose book review is pending because I cannot see them having uploaded it. Few of them have not uploaded as well, and they have not even spoken.
Ma'am, I'll upload it by evening today.
Okay, would you be able to do your book review right away?
I actually don't have access to laptop right now, so and the PowerPoint presentation is in the laptop.
Okay, no problem. When would you able to do it? Because now the departments have been asking us to showcase how much work has been done.
Okay, so I'll upload the PPT by evening. If you want, I can tell it in the next lecture, like explain the thing in the next lecture.
Okay, okay, no problem. So you're ready with it, right? Within a day or two, you
Yeah.
would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
What about others? You want me to call the roll numbers? I hope you know. You don't want me to call roll numbers, right? Okay. According to the list which is given to me, or the list which I have already made, I'll tell you who are the people who have not done it. Enrollment number 12, Vishwa has already told us. Enrollment number 24, 29, 31, 34. These are the people who have not completed their book review. Enrollment number 31 has uploaded it, but the review part is remaining. The PowerPoint part is remaining. Oh yes, if you are ready with it, Vatsal, you may do it right away. I'll give you 2-3 minutes time. Yes, you review it and then you upload it. I don't mind, so that I can just keep your marks. Is the PPT ready? If it's ready, you may do the presentation right away. I've got reply from 2 people. What about the rest? Vatsal is doing it great.
Good morning, friends. Today I am going to review our iceberg is melting book. This book is a inspiration book. This book is author is John Cotter, Holger Redberg. This book was published by 2013. Summary of this book is John Cotter is faculty of Harvard Business School since 1972. He is author of 11 books and she got awards and honors. And Holger Rathenberg is worked for Becton Dickinson of one of the leading medical technology companies. One minute.
Yes, no problem.
Our iceberg melting is simple story of colony of penguin fascinating dilemma, and the character is powerful message about their fear and change, how to motivate people. There are six characters in the book: Fred, Louis, Alice, Bertie, the professor, and Nona. Fred is an abnormal crucius penguin who identified the Fred, an abnormal crucius penguin who identified the problem being to Alice. Alice is a driving force behind the penguin colony, and her the knowledge of issues got attention of elders. Louis is the penguin changed the penguin elders and thoughts that entity called colonies. No, the main character of the story, and he also finding the solution, but he spend time is calming fear and regular penguins at the no particular intelligence, and everyone it will success of the group. The professor is the intelligence and learning always looking to think. My favorite character is the story about Antarctica iceberg is colony of emperor penguins and living along. They could remember this was the only home they had ever known. Unusual, curious observant penguin discovering that iceberg they are living at melt is someplace and may literally fall apart. What's the story? Quarterback, numerous interesting details, analog and ignites about change management challenge and work. The favorite part is most of teenagers of Antarctica penguin colonies in history, the quiet but ceremonious Scott, and Ellis, the number two bird, the intractable known to weather expert and the vessel of the school age penguins if he saved the colony and their delightful told the journey illumination in unforgettable ways to how manage the necessary change at the surround us all. And I have written his book is 4 out of 5 because of his book is confused about his conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Vatsal. That was nice. Kindly make sure you upload the PowerPoint that you have displayed over here while you did the presentation. And now, other people, do you wish to do it right away? Like Vishwa is going to do it in the next lab. The rest of us, when are we doing? When are we doing it? Fine. It's just a reminder that I'm giving because it's carrying marks, right? Which are going to be added on your mark sheet. It's my duty to remind. All right. I'll not be reminding every now and then. That's just one reminder that I have given. Make sure that you upload the resume and cover letter as well as the certificates for Coursera, for which I have given the link. In case you are facing any problem, please let me know. whatever it is. Now, what are we going to do in our next lab session before we call it a day today? In the next lab session, uh, we are going to try and complete writing the letters. I have been having a look and keeping a watch on things that people have been asked to do and they are not doing. So let's go back and in the next lab session, if you remember, for everybody, I have given a letter. Right? There's something called a folder called letter practices, and I've already given you questions for inquiry letters, order letters, and complaint letters. So we're going to complete off that unfinished work that we are doing, or we're supposed to do, and we have not done it. Make sure you go back to the question. You draft the letters. I'm not asking you to write it. I want you to draft it. It's a matter of practice that you are doing. In case you complete it before the left session, that's absolutely fine. Dhruv, when I say you, it means everybody. Okay, I know some of you have done work. I insist that you complete it so that we can do some other activity in the lab session. All right. I insist you complete the work so that we can do some other activity in the lab session. Okay. So before we call it a day today, let me take the attendance so that it's an important part of our session, right? The attendance. So let me take the attendance. Enrollment number 2. Mehak was there somewhere. Okay. I'm taking the attendance for the session. All right. So enrollment number 2, 5, 8, 9, 10. Yes, Mehak, I've marked you. Okay. 12. No problem. 19. 24. 25. 26. 29. 31. 34. 35. 38. 44. And 46. Just call out the absent numbers so that we are sure about it. Enrollment number 9. There should be more people absent. I don't know why I find it less. No problem. Enrollment number 9. 24. And 29. In fact, there should be 5 people who should be absent. No problem. I'll look into the issue, whatever it is. I'll find out. We have a way of taking attendance online as well. I'll try to match the same. Fine. So if you, or if it is possible, please go back to the letters drive, letters folder and try and complete the letters. In fact, if you do it, then we'll have some other activity. Otherwise, we'll be completing letter writing. It's a matter of practice which is required over here. Right. Remember till now what we have been assigned, the work which you should be completing for the marks point of view is one. You should by now you should be ready with the certificate. You would have completed the Coursera courses and the certificate should be awarded to you. One, you should have completed your book review and you should complete by the end of the day. Or maybe take a day more, I don't mind, take till 2nd October, that's fine. You should complete your cover letter and resume. That is almost we have covered 40 marks. right? The marks that I'm supposed to give to you, out of that we have covered almost 40 marks. We still have 10 marks pending. Total I'm supposed to give 50 marks, so 10 marks pending for Viva. That I'll tell you whenever it is scheduled. Okay. For the subject ETC, by now you should complete your book review, your cover letter and resume, and you should have completed your Coursera course, because we have informed you well in advance. You should be submitting your certificates, right? That is all. We will call it a day over here. Next lecture, next session, whosoever's book review is pending will first finish that. Then we will work on our letters. If you complete your letters in the at home and you're not willing to do it in the lab session, then we'll have some other activity related to effective technical communication, right? This is what I'd inform you. Please go back and see if you are facing any kind of problems anywhere, right? Fine. So we call it a day over here. Thank you, class. Have a nice day. Thank you.